They call her our twin, a sister world, born of the same primordial dust, spinning in the same silent dark. For centuries, we look at Venus through the hazy telescopes of our ancestors and saw a goddess, a jewel in the morning sky that inspired poets to write of love, guided ancient sailors across uncharted seas, and stood as lonely symbol of celestial beauty. But as we finally reached out to touch her, as we pulled back the thick, golden veil, we found our graveyard, not just a barren rock like the moon, but the world that was systematically murdered by its own sky. In the grand, violent dance of our solar system's birth, Venus and Earth started with the same steps. They were born as identical orphans of a young, turbulent sun, possessing the same diameter, the same rocky bones, and the same chemical potential for life. For a billion of years, if you were an outsider looking in, they might have looked like mirrors images. Two blue marbles cradled in the warmth of the habitable zone, both likely teeming with the chemistry of possibility. Yet, somewhere along the way, the paths diverged. One became a garden, vibrant and teeming with the chaotic symphony of biology, and the other became a ghost. We are finally beginning to understand why the sister died, and the answer is written in the very air that now chokes her. A cautionary tale for anyone who thinks a planet's climate is a permanent gift. It is a story of how a paradise can be lost, not through a sudden impact, but through a slow, relentless suffocating of the light. The surface is a mastery of mystery. It is the hottest place in our neighborhood, a constant, unblinking 900 degrees Fahrenheit. Day or night, pole to equator, the heat never breaks. That is hot enough to melt lead into shimmering pools and turn zinc into liquid. But it's not just the heat that would kill you. It's the weight of the sky itself. The atmosphere is 90 times heavier than Earth. Standing on the Venetian plains would feel like standing half a mile beneath the ocean. But instead of cool, life-giving water, you are surrounded by a sea supercritical carbon dioxide. This is a strange, twilight state of matter. Neither gas or liquid, but the fluid that possesses the density of the liquid and the flow of gas. It sloshes against the basalt rocks in a slow, suffocating the tide, a heavy medium that distorts light, making the horizon appear to curve upward like the inside of the bowl. It ripples like a heat haze over a desert highway, distorting everything you see until reality itself feels like a fever dream. We once thought she was always this way, a born monster, a failed experiment. But the rocks speak a different language. They tell of ancient tesserae, rugged highlands that rise above the lava plains like islands in a lost sea. These are the oldest features on the planet, composed of granite-like rock that requires water to form. They are the headstones of the continents that might have once felt the cold splash of a saltwater wave, now baked dry by a sun that never sets. Even the Soviet Venera proves, the only machines to ever see the ground, only survives for minutes before they were cooked and crushed. Their final transmissions were a desperate gasp from the bottom of a furnace, showing us a landscape of jagged orange rocks and the sky the color of a bruise. But if the surface is hell, the heavens might be something else entirely. There is a layer of the atmosphere, 30 miles up, where the nightmare softens into something hauntingly familiar. Here, the pressure thins out to match the air at the sea level on Earth. The temperature drops to a comfortable room temperature. It is the only place in the entire solar system, outside of our own front door, where a human could theoretically stand on the deck of a gondola without a pressurized suit. Without a pressurized suit, provided they had an oxygen mask and protection from the acid rain. And it is here, in these temperate, acid-tinted clouds, that the sister is starting to whisper. In 2020, we caught the scent of something impossible. Phosphine. On Earth, this pulse-spelling gas is a calling card for life, the waste product of microbes that thrive in the dark. Oxygen-starved corners of our world, but that was not the only mystery. We see strange, dark streaks in the clouds, mysterious absorbers that soak up ultraviolet light as if they were performing a strange, alien form of photosynthesis. They move with the super rotation of the atmosphere, a phenomenon where the wind circled the planet in just 4 days, while the planet itself takes 243 days to make a single turn. Scientists went back to a 40-year-old data from the Pioneer probes, looking at numbers we had ignored for decades. They found evidence of stable amino acids and even anomalous particles that don't match the surrounding volcanochemistry. These are the building blocks of you and me, drifting into a sea of acid, surviving where we thought nothing could. It seems the breath of Venus is far more complex than we ever dared to imagine. It's as if the planet's biology refused to die with the oceans, moving into the clouds when the ground became a furnace, evolving to survive in the last temperate sanctuary of the dying world. Science is beginning to paint a new, heartbreaking picture. A story of a world that might have stayed blue and beautiful for 3 billion years, while Earth was still a chaotic ball of fire and shifting plates. Venus may have been the first true paradise in the solar system. Because she was closer to the sun, she warmed up faster, potentially kickstarting the engine of life while Earth was still cooling down. She likely had vast, shallow oceans, soft rains, and perhaps even snow dusting her high peaks. For billions of years, she was a success story.